What's up, folks? Sean the Average Angler coming at you with another great video. Sticking with the theme of following up on the tournament baits. And the next one was a really good one because, well, I did some comparison stuff. And this is, I'm excited about this bait because this is a bait that, one, everybody can get their hands on, and two, everybody can fish. It doesn't require any real special skills other than maybe casting something that weighs a little bit heavier than normal. My wife keeps buying me zero sugar Coca-Cola. What a freaking, who does that? Felt like half the fun of having a Coke was getting the sugar out of it. All right, anyway, if you're new to the channel, you like this kind of content, we review baits, products, techniques. We go over to new techniques, line choices, all that kind of stuff. I try and share a little piece of my knowledge with you to help you all catch more fish. If that's what you're looking for, enjoy the content. Hit that subscribe button down below. Help an old man get a few subscribers. And then we can bring you more content like this. Look, anything I make, which is very, very little, trust me, I get probably about 10 cents an hour out of what I put into this. But anyway, it goes right back into buying baits and stuff to try out for you guys. So today I have one that is a real winner, and I don't really know how to do this. This bait can be fished on so many different rods. Okay, so really you don't need to have anything special. I'm pretty sure you probably have something already that you could throw it on. And this is what I just cut it off of, okay? So I'm just gonna show you, this is what I just cut it off of. It's an iRod Air 753C, okay? So it's 7'5", medium heavy. This is my lighter jig rod, and this is what I was throwing this bait on, all right? Probably a 734 to 764 would be perfect. I have 3 764s. All of them had other similar type baits tied on. But here is the bait that I'm talking about. Okay, it's a soft glide. This one is called the Okasana Slide 170 by Raid. These are very reasonable. About 21 bucks, I think. Well, that was before tariffs. I don't know what they are. I'll put links in the description. But these things are really fantastic. And one thing I was concerned about was it says floating. Okay, and they do weigh 1.75 ounces. So 1 3/4 ounces. But what I really was impressed with was actually mine was running more in the 2 to 2.5 foot range. And I think it has to do with these fins here. As you're retrieving it, kind of pull it down. That's my assumption, okay? It's what I think it is. I have no guarantees. I might have to put that warning on the bottom. Anyway, this is a line through bait. As you see, I left the line there. There you go. I threw this on 15-pound test. 15, maybe it was 16-pound sunline, fluorocarbon, but it's a line through. You just poke the line through, you tie it onto the first hook. You'll see the treble hook there has a harness, connects to the front one. It is highly recommended to leave the harness on there, okay? I've heard a lot of people fish this without it, and they start saying they're missing fish. Now, it's just attached to that front hook, and then it's got the ball on there to hold it on. Okay, works very, very well. Now, what I like about this bait is it swims great, and it swims very much in an S pattern. Okay, S. Nice S pattern on just a steady retrieve. So it's very simple for anybody to pick up and fish. Now, there's a lot of comparison to this bait to this bait. Okay, they are similar in a lot of ways. This is a flag 170, very highly sought after. A little easier to get than the bigger ones, but you will notice some distinct differences, okay? The flag is much thinner. You'll see what I will say. You can swim both of them fast, but they are different. This bait is a S pattern swim, much like an S waver, only in my opinion, it does it much better. This one, you can burn it, you can chop it, and you'll see that the sides here are open. Now, if you wanted to on this bait, you could simply, and I haven't tried this, so if you do it, it's at your own risk, but I'm thinking that you could just trim this edge off here and here, right there, so that it's more like the flag. And then you might get a little different action. However, I really like the different action. It just means that these two baits serve two different purposes, and maybe the fish want one over the other at different times. This Okasana Slide is also half the price. They come in some great colors. Again, as I've mentioned with swim baits in the past, and I'd show you, but it's in the boat. They have a white, like a bone type color. If you're not sure ever what color to get on a swim bait, white or bone is always a safe bet. Works good in clear water, works good in dirty water. It's just a good all-around bait fish type color, especially in the spring when fish are pre-spawn, spawn. Something about white seems to trigger them and get them fired up. Now, one thing I really noticed is the flag shines around that 15-pound mark. Very much like a mag draft, right? This bait, and I believe it's because it's heavier, but also because really the swim action is completely different and more that it's a glider. This could be a chopper, and this one you can also speed reel, and it swims like a fish scurrying to get away. Now, if you look at the hooks and the position, you might think, why do I need a trailer on that? Well, this bait doesn't fold up quite as well because of how thick it is, plus it's got that plastic there to stop that from bending, whereas this one will just fold up. Okay, so this is very easy to eat. This is a little bit more challenging. It's still soft rubber. However, you do have these chambers up here, and I don't know exactly what this is. Maybe someday when I tear one up, I'll cut it open and check it out. But I have a feeling that it is foam. And then there's another piece right back here. So this bait does have a couple hard points in the bait. Not really an issue. The bait is what it is. The cool thing is, like I said, they're 21 bucks. These are available at tackle shops around the country. There's a lot of them. The Hookup Tackle has them. I believe you can get them now at Tackle Warehouse. There's probably a bunch of others. Just go out and look around. It is the Raid Okasana Slide 170. Now they do have some other swimmers. I have some over here behind me. They came in a pack that I bought. I haven't fished them yet. They're a little different than this style. I'll get back to you on those. This is one I will recommend right now. Again, when you have clamshell packages, it's a good idea to save yours and store your baits in said clamshell because it keeps everything in the shape that it's supposed to be in. Okay, that'll keep your fins straight, keep your tail straight. There we go. All right, now it's in there right. So, a little cumbersome to store in the boat or in your pack or whatever. But hey, you're saving the bait. You're not destroying it. It's a good idea to take care of this stuff. You don't have to keep buying them. You know, it saves you a lot of money. So this is a great option for this. Just remember they swim a little bit better. However, like I said, I got a funny feeling if you trim that plastic down on the front of the body there so that it bent more like the flag does, you might be able to turn this into a chopper. Again, I haven't tried it. I can't guarantee it. I just understand how swim baits work, and it kind of makes sense. Now, weighting could affect that too. I'm not really sure. But if you could chop this on the surface, and my thought process is that as you're reeling, it's pulling it down. Well, if you're chopping it on the surface, it should stay there. That would be pretty dynamite, you know what I mean? All right, where to fish this? This is much more of a cover water bait, the way it currently swims in that S pattern. However, I'm still gonna fish it around likely targets. Docks come to mind this time of year. They're just such a good spot, pre-spawn, post-spawn, for fish to hang out, recover, or feed, that's a great place for this type of bait. Really, any kind of moving bait for that matter. Great way to cover points. If you get back into creeks, likely spawning areas, it could be a really good place to chuck down the bank a good distance, because like I said, they're 1.75 ounces and they cast quite a ways. Now, I will tell you, one of the secrets to casting baits this big is you don't need to put a lot of effort into it. It's a nice, easy lob cast. Let the weight of the bait take it, and they go a good long ways. Makes it really efficient to cover lots of water. And look, I had plenty of fish come out and sow themselves on this, and what I will tell you is you can stop it and it hovers, okay, with maybe a slow rise. Now, while I didn't get bites on this one during the tournament, it did show me areas that were holding bigger fish. It's always good information to have. You can come back later, a day later, whatever it may be, and try another approach to catching those fish. If you don't have forward-facing sonar, that can be really beneficial because it's showing you the fish. It's really the power of a glide bait is not just to catch giants, but oftentimes, and more often than not, it's to show you fish in the area. Line size, again, we're going to keep it down in that 15 to 17 pound range. You can go up to 20. This is a much heavier bait than the flag, and because of the style of S-swim, it's going to work just fine. So adjust to your conditions. It's always better to fish as light as you can effectively. Okay, it just, baits tend to have more action that way. Thanks for watching. I'm Sean, the Average Angler. Hit that like button. Drop a comment down below. We're lacking a little bit on comments lately. Thanks, guys, for watching the whole video. Really appreciate it. Y'all have a great day.